Gemini 45, what's going on, people? It's your man DJ E Double live in the mix. It's the relaunch of the launch pad. Now, I got a friend that stopped through, did a little listening party with him. He's in town for the These Things Happen tour with Rocky Fresh. G-Eazy in the building on a Sunday night. What up, G?
What's good, bro? Just out here, man. I'm excited for the show tonight.
Okay, and I know you're gonna bring it.
Yeah, always. We do this. You know what I mean?
Bring
all I know is tour. All I know is this life. So,
Oh, and me and G were just talking. He's homeless, people. He doesn't have a home for the past 2 years. He's been on the road
the most luxurious homeless person in the world right now. I'm just out here living out of 2 suitcases, but just fully committed. It was really a decision I made at the beginning of the last tour I did before this, to just give up all my stuff, all my distractions, you know what I mean? My TV, my PlayStation, whatever, and just get down to just a suitcase full of clothes in my studio.
Yeah.
My laptop, my mic, and that's it. And just commit to this album. And now we're here on the These Things Happen tour, promoting the album by the same name. And the album just finished, and that was how we concentrated and just locked in and finished it.
Yep. Now hold on, you forgot to say you got a personal barber on the bus with you too.
Yeah. I mean, when I say luxurious homeless person, I'm living out of a tour bus. Or Airbnb.com, if you're not up on it yet, is amazing.
I'm gonna check
People
it out.
rent their houses out, you know what I mean, anywhere. And it's like the same price as a hotel, but you can rent a house anywhere. So we set up the studio in Malibu, right on the beach.
Dope.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, super good vibes for like 3 weeks. We went to New York and stayed in Soho for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Hollywood, and just moved around and just try to, work on the album everywhere and just work with a bunch of people.
Okay, now this tour, how do you feel? I mean, I've seen a couple videos. That's me, but we got to let these people know how is this tour sinking in for G-Eazy?
It's crazy. I mean, like I said, I've been touring on and off for like the last 3 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
I don't even know what home is anymore. And you pay your dues early on, you know what I mean? You take any tour you can get. You're opening up for the openers of the openers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just try to get out there in front of some people. Hopefully steal some fans and put on a show that people can talk about. Then you come back and you might get a better gig, you know what I mean? Somebody might offer you your main support for somebody, But these growing pains start to kick in like, man, I want a headline, you know what I mean? I want to be on my own tour. I want to be on a bus. I want to be making money. I want to be, selling tons of merch and all this. But you just keep working, you just keep working away and paying dues. And, so I finally did my first headlining run a year ago.
Okay.
We did Middle East in Boston.
Yeah.
All sold out. It was crazy. And then this summer, we took a step back. It was like, all right, we're not there yet. We got offered this tour with Wayne, T.I., and 2 Chainz. And it was like, all right, I'm going to be making less money. I'm going to be the opener again. But I know I can learn something from the OGs.
Yeah, it's
people who have been touring for so long. And it's so many, things behind the scenes on the road. The staff, the stage setup, the how you put your show together, what kind of merch sells the best. You know what I mean? All these ins and outs of touring. So we just soaked up game. We went out there trying to learn everything we could. So now to finally be back on the road, to have my new album finished.
Beautiful.
Promoting everything, and still, we've sold out this whole tour so far. So it's like, it's just love, because a tour is where you get to bring the music you've been working on directly to the fans. It's one thing to read a comment online on a blog. It's another thing to play this new music and watch their reactions right in front of you,
So we could say that G-Eazy in the summer took one step back to take 2, 3, 4 forward.
Most definitely. And that's a part of the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me, I've done it several times.
Yeah.
And, you just realize things about yourself. You take a step out of your own shoes, look at yourself, and be like, you know what? I could do this better, or I should be doing this.
Yeah. No, and you got to have that ability to kind of self-criticism, you know what I mean? And learning and being willing to, take a step back and, learn more and not just feel like, a lot of times, it's so many artists that just feel like, man, I'm the hottest. Why am I not? You know what I mean? Why am I not doing arenas right now? Why am I not, you know what I mean? How did my mixtape get slept on? How did I, you know what I mean? Whatever. But you really just gotta it's all about just paying dues and just taking that time and just putting the work in. You know?
Now, G, how would you describe your style to someone who hasn't heard your music?
I mean, for a while it was inspired by this, classic kind of 50s sound that I was remixing and bringing to this contemporary kind of landscape. It's grown out of that. It's matured a bit. There's influences from, rhythmically from where I'm from, the Bay, like the Far Lone record. Those are hyphy drums. You know what I mean? That's that 98 beats per minute that I grew up on.
And it's winning and killing right
It's great to see a sound that we grew up on in the Bay that was, popular there, but you drive a few hours outside of Northern California and you wouldn't hear so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see that sound with people like Sage the Gemini and I Am Sue and, everything the Bay's got going on right now, to see that, growing and, and more people reacting to it is great.
I seen you was at South by Southwest. Is your first time down there, or?
Nah, I've done South by probably the last 4 or 5 years. This was the second year that we've actually done it like legit though.
Yeah.
The first few times, the first time I went down to South by, man, I had one show. I had no idea what to expect, and there were maybe 5 people there. But that's South by, you know what I mean? And we spent the rest of the time just going to other shows, going to hella parties and just seeing stuff. And I slept on a friend's floor. We didn't have no hotel, just super duper broke, just out there, you know what I mean, trying to hustle and network. Came back the next year, had a couple shows. Maybe there was 15 people instead of 5.
Okay, progress.
Yeah. And then I don't know. The last year was, we had like 13 shows in 3 days or something. This year we were like, look, we're only doing a couple.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna play a couple shows. I'm gonna do these interviews. I'm gonna get out because I was on my tour, so we had to cancel 2 days of tour to come into South by.
Oh, that's real. That's big. I mean, I'm glad to see you getting that look, and look at from where you came, to where you are. It's like,
I didn't sleep on the floor this year. It was cool.
And you dictated to them, said, listen, we're only doing 3, okay?
Right.
So that's a good thing. How you feel about the? I know you went to school in New Orleans. Difference between the Bay and New Orleans?
They're both super duper weird places, unique. You know what I mean? It's only a few places like there. Actually, that's all there is. You know what I mean? It's like growing up in the Bay, I didn't realize how weird and different and unique and special it was until I left. But then you go to New Orleans, and it's equally like New Orleans is a bubble inside the rest of Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's this liberal, very cultural. A lot of music and art and food and all this. It's similar to the Bay is this bubble in California. That's you know what I mean. It's not so much like everything that's around it.
It's completely different.
I mean, so in the Bay, you grow up on like hyphy and E40 and Mac Dre and Keek the Sneak, and then you go to New Orleans and it's like bounce music is really big.
Yeah, I know about the bounce.
Yeah.
I'd say the bounce was even more ratchet.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's tough to say something's more ratchet than some of the hyphy stuff, but yeah, bounce music is a thing in itself. It's
recorded in the bathroom on a cell phone.
Oh yeah,
it's some of the worst. But I tell you, those records go far.
Hey, for real. Hey, that Walmart record was big. The dude got fired from Walmart for it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because they say that down south they don't even go to the club. They go hang out at Walmart.
Hey, Walmart be turned up though.
So, like I was saying, I did a listening party with G-Eazy, and we played the whole project from front to back. Overwhelming response from everybody that was there. But there was one record, or people, I played this record 9 times. Now, Jay-Z and Kanye, they did the Paris record a whole bunch of times. But I'm not talking about Jay-Z nor Kanye. I'm talking about G-Eazy, somebody you guys need to get up on. Now, the response from this record was overwhelming, like, I could have kept on playing it.
Yeah, we could have went 90.
Yeah, it's like I'm sitting there, like we get to the end of the record. I'm looking at you. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do it again. Then you looked at me like, yeah, do it again. So we played the record 9 times. The response is crazy. I hope we can get that record someday.
Yeah, it'll see the light of day someday. We have to make that happen.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer right there. So I was on YouTube watching the tour footage.
Yeah,
I'm seeing your mom talking about rolling up.
Yeah. Hey, my mom's is a true Bay Area, you know what I mean, liberal, artsy, hippie, stoner. She she taught art growing up. I grew up just my mom and my brother, single parent home. And she's an artist, and she likes her greenery, and nowadays all she does is just work in her studio, make art, and just blaze. So yeah, there's a clip in the tour video where she rolled me a blunt. It was funny.
Yeah, you guys need to go on YouTube and search G-Eazy. When you're spelling this, G-E-A-Z-Y.
Yep.
So I take it you definitely have smoked with your mother.
Oh yeah, it was funny because when I was little, and we would ride around, and this was when I was probably like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Mom, like, why does it always smell like skunks? And she's like, there's just a lot of them in this neighborhood. We run over a lot of them. And I'm like, but Mom, it always smells like skunks. And it wasn't until I was like maybe like 10, 11 where I seen her smoking, and I asked her about it, and she told me, and she would always try to say, I don't want you smoking until you're 18. Well, I was like 12 or 13 when you know what I mean? Me and the homies, like, just in the neighborhood, and I'd always have to keep it from her.
Yeah.
So then she always said, when you turn 18, I'll smoke with you. So I was on probation when I turned 18. So I didn't even get to on my birthday. I was so bummed. But when I finally got done with that, I remember it was very ceremonious. It was me and my mom sat down, and I rolled a blunt for her, and we sat there and we smoked a blunt, and it was just a moment,
What was
it kind of weird.
What was the conversation
about? Kind of strange, kind of weird. But nah, shouts out to my mom. She's a G for real.
That's crazy. So you said she had the skunk. So that means she had the loud
she
back
had
in
the
the
loud.
day.
She had the loud, bro. Yeah.
All right. So the album is coming.
These things happen.
That's the title of the tour.
That's it. The tour, the album, just branded. Just these things happen. Iconic.
So pretty much what I played in the store, they heard the album.
Yeah, they heard most of it. It was almost done at the time.
Almost. Yeah, I know there was a few, few verses that needed to be.
Yeah. A few little pieces, a few little, sprinkle on the last final touches. But we just got the final mixed and mastered copy of the album yesterday. And for me, obviously that's a huge moment.
And you're very hands-on with the production process.
Yeah, most definitely. In the past, before this album, I'd done all my own production, 100%. I would make the beats. I would, record this, in the studio. I would mix all the records. I would master them myself. This one, it was like, all right, I'm not too proud to admit that this is what I can do on my own. But if I worked with other talented people that can, bring this to the table and bring that to the table, we can get a better result.
Yeah.
Gotta
respect that.
And so I did this whole new album with a good friend of mine, Christoph Anderson, who I've known from New Orleans. I went to school with out there. And he's just brilliant whiz kid when it comes to production. He's just a genius. So working with him, and him bringing his world to the table and me bringing mine, and us combining our influences and, creatively working together helped a lot. And worked with a couple other producers, Jay Ant, who to the hook on. Yeah, he gave me that one. And then we, every track, whether it's working with him or anybody else, it's like somebody will bring the initial idea.
Yeah. And
then, me and Christoph will swap out most of the sounds and add our touch to it and kind of just reshape it a little bit.
Yeah.
'Cause to me, it's really important for the record from track 1 to the last song to flow cohesively.
Yeah, I'm glad
if it's an album, you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to make an album, make a cohesive creative statement.
So you care about your product.
I care a ridiculous amount.
There's a lot of people that don't care.
You can't. I care too much. That's why it's taking so long for the record to come out.
Hey, but that's beautiful. So once we get
once you get it, it's a class. Hey, this is the one, bro. We've been working on this one. Here's the thing. It's like I'm on tour right now. I feel like I've been touring a lot, but once this album drops and it hits and people get it, I'm never going home.
It's time to. Yeah.
I'm going back out on the road. I'm doing a promo tour. I'm doing another full-fledged tour. You know what I mean? It never stops.
I say you should look for a house in 2020.
Hey, I'm gonna start looking for them. I'm gonna start having it built right now. How about that?
And you take your time with it. It's gonna be some time.
Yeah.
So, G-Eazy, we want to give the opportunity for you to throw out your social media. How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, G_EAZY. Almost on all social medias. That's Twitter, Instagram. Search me on Facebook, G-EAZY. YouTube, the whole nine. You can basically stalk me online everywhere I'm gonna be, everywhere I'm performing.
That's what we want.
Yeah,
we need
you can
him
find
there.
me right now via Instagram where I'm at.
And he definitely pulls the ladies out to the shows.
Yeah.
G, we like to appreciate you for coming through for the relaunch of the Launchpad.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, bro.
You always got a home up here whenever it's a new record.
That's what's up, because I'm thinking about moving to Boston, man.
Hey, if you want,
Hey,
let me know.
I really do. I mess with Boston, man.
There's a lot of ladies out here for you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Boston
if
is
it's gonna
dope.
get you in trouble.
Boston is dope. I've always had fun here.
Get you a nice little pad out here. Be cool.
Yeah.
All right, G, so we don't want to keep you too much longer. We know you got a lot of money to get.
Yeah.
A lot of shows to rip.
Yeah, you already know.
That's what time it is.
Appreciate you, bro.
G-Eazy right here on the relaunch of the Launchpad, baby. Let's go.